Thank you for coming to our show. We begin tonight with a Jamaican folk song entitled Shake the Papaya.
Good evening, I'm Mrs. Foltz, the strings teacher here at Buck Lake Elementary School, and appreciate it.
Next, enjoy as our string orchestra plays under the direction of Mrs. Foltz.
Thank you so much. I'm not used to getting an introduction, that's very sweet, thank you. So this is our string orchestra group here at Buck Lake Elementary School. We have one cellist here, and the end here present, and we have 4 violists, which is also wonderful to have a cello and 4 violists, and some violinists. Can we have the mic turned down just a little bit if possible? And so we're going to play for you some songs for tonight. We're going to play just a few more that are listed in your program, since we don't have quite the kind of time constraint we had this morning. So we're going to start with the ant song, which is how we first started learning our open strings. So this is the ant song. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each and every ant, digging in the dirt, all the way to Greece, swimming down to Cuba. All right, so it's kind of a nonsense song, but it helps them, as you can see, learn their string names. So next up, we're going to play for you the Open Strings Blues. And this is another one that's on just open strings. That means they're not putting any fingers down on the strings yet. So this is the Open Strings Blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. Motorcycle stop stop. So they're going to just echo when I play. Motorcycle stop stop on the D string, students. All right, so you can hear they did a very nice job. They had a really good sound, and that's not easy to do. It looks and sounds kind of simple. It's one note. But to get a nice tone out of the instruments, you have to really work to have a parallel bow to the bridge, opening and closing your arm the right way. If you're doing this, which is a lot of what people tend to do, it's going to get a scratchy sound. So that is really a lot that they accomplished there. And they learned that earlier in the year, and we keep refining those things. So we're going to move on now to Hot Cross Buns, which was kind of our first song that more people know, Hot Cross Buns. I'll play 2 measures of introductions to you. familiar tune, and they love learning these songs and playing them. And this one is now on the A string. So we did quite a lot of work before we got to this song. We did a lot of learning on the D string only at first, and then we learned how to finger notes on the D string, D, E, F sharp, and G. Then we went over to the A string, which we call the A ladder. So this is Mary Had a Little Lamb. Learning the repeat sign. You heard how we did it the second time through, and so they're learning to read music as well, but not yet on the musical staff. They're learning like the treble clef, the time signatures, those things, but not yet reading the notes on the music staff. The next one is going to demonstrate our scale. We're going to do number 27 and 28 together, pluck in the D scale. We're going to go up the scale, and then we'll have a brief pause and come down the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because they are trying to play in tune with each other. We have 9 in the class, and we couldn't make it tonight, so 8 people trying to play right in tune with everybody. And it's not like the piano where you can hit this A, and if the piano has been tuned, it's a tune. They move their fingers along the fingerboard, and they are controlling that, all the tuning. And they're also having to move their bows together and stay together and not rush and stay on beat together. So I thought they did a great job of that too. One more in this set. We have Twinkle Twinkle Little Star for you now.
Is a Japanese folk song about the cherry blossom trees. Here's the translation. Here am I, so all love, in the cherry trees of home.
Sail the seas. Please enjoy the song of the pirate child.
Next, we're going to go back to our strings, and we're going to move over to a song that's a little bit longer and more involved than those we did before. This is Are You Sleeping? Number 37. Thank you. Instruments up, students. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the difficult part, and I thought I did a great job on that. We work on that a lot, practice it a lot. The next one is Oh Claire de la Lune. This is a French folk song, another French folk song.
movement is when one part begins and another part comes in later, otherwise known as a round. Here is Canon and Dorian from the Orc Ensemble. travel back in time to the Ice Age. The next piece was put together during the normal 5th grade special area. It includes recorders, barred instruments, drums, and triangles.
All right, I didn't want to take somebody's announcement. I got my script out now. So we're gonna move on now to a few more songs. We started reading music notes on the music staff with the song "Oh Claire to the Luna" that we played a little bit before. And I like this book, how it's laid out. It goes at it systematically. So on the D string, you start learning like D and D and E, and then the next exercise has D, E, and F sharp, and so you kind of add incrementally. And then going over to the A string, doing the same thing. So students, we're going to play number 52 first. So the regular Mary Had a Little Lamb first, okay, number 52. Duet on that as well. We won't do that tonight. And we learned an inversion, playing it upside down, starting with the lowest note, or reversing the highest and the lowest notes. So now we have a jazzy version, which is really fun. It's the same notes. We just have some more rests put in there. Rests are beats of silence. So here we go with the jazzy version of Mary Had a Little Lamb. 1, 2, 3, 4. worked a lot with bow distribution, how much of the bow we're using at one time. We learned how to do a bow lift and reset when we want to do a down bow and another down bow. So we worked really hard on all of that. This is now going to be climbing the steps, number 64. Climbing the steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that one has first and second ending, so some more music reading skills. How many of you are musicians out there? Read music? Got some folks, all right. So these are skills that we have to build upon, and we have to do a lot of repetition, just like anything. If you think about when you learn a language as a baby, you probably don't remember, but you've seen other people do it. And you know it's like all the time repetition, and mimicking and repeating. So next up we have Oats and Peas and Beans, and this is a cute American folk song. This will be our last single string song. We'll join in at the end with everybody else in the company.
is Music for Children. This piece is written by the German composer Karl Orff Gluckman, whom the instruments are named after. We have added our own section that represents children playing. Swahili song from Kenya, Africa. It is translated to "Grant us peace, give us courage." Enjoy.
Stop.
Thank you.